this, but most people would really expect him to be a chef. Some people call him Tiny Chef or Little Chef. He's actually sitting right up here on my desk. Who are we drawing today, guys? Remy! We're drawing Remy from the film Ratatouille for this class. So, without further ado, are you guys ready to get started? Alright, let's do it. Alright, for Remy, we're going to start off with a circle here, right in the middle of our sketch. Lock your wrist, let your shoulder roll around. Your shoulder is a lot better at drawing circles than your wrist is. Now my page is smaller than yours, but I'm going about the size of like a tangerine, a cutie here on my page, one of those little oranges. But you can go up to the size of an orange or a baseball if you'd like. But I want to add in some guidelines to this, right? His head is not a perfect circle. He's actually going to be facing at what we call a profile angle. So his head is actually going to be turned to the side. I'm going to go just below center here, and I'm going to add in this horizontal guideline. And since his snout is going to be sticking out on the left, I'm going to bring that line out on the left-hand side. I'd say about as far as your circle is wide. So his snout should be about as wide as the circle is. I like to give myself kind of a little tick mark for my measurement, just so I know where I'm going to start his snout over here on the left-hand side. Now to build up that snout of his, I'm going to stretch this big letter U curve from that tick mark on my horizontal guideline. Stretching this back over and into the circle here, and resting it just underneath the guideline, just on the inside of the circle. This is going to give us the bottom of his snout, but also his smile. So I'm going to cap off the end of that big letter U curve with this flat rainbow, just to show that he's smiling, really nice and big. And we can even open up his mouth, give him what we call an open mouth or a laughing smile. I would say for most of the movie, he's pretty happy-go-lucky, right? Especially when he gets to land his dream job as a chef. So I'm going to bring down this parenthesis curve, so it's going just below the bottom of the circle here. And then I can turn it into what looks like this pizza slice by bringing one more parenthesis curve back up to connect to the bottom of that letter U shape here. And since he's got his mouth hanging open like this, we are going to see his tongue on the inside of his mouth here. So I'll go towards the right side, and I'll add in this little letter C curve, so his tongue is just resting at the back side of his mouth. We can even add in the bottom of his chin. So I'm going to jump down to the very bottom of that pizza slice, and I'm going to create what looks like this candy cane hook. I'm stretching it over towards the right-hand side, that bottom right corner. Just kind of closing off the bottom of his chin here with this stretched out candy cane. And the last detail I'll add in for now is going to be his tooth. He's actually got a little buck tooth. Rats' teeth are actually super strong. They can chew through pretty much any substance, including metal and concrete. So that is why they are absolutely everywhere, is because they can pretty much chew through anything. But I'm going about halfway down that letter U curve, and I started by adding this parenthesis that I'm almost pointing towards the inside of his mouth, because I want it to look like if he were to close his mouth, that tooth could fit on the inside there. And now I'm just turning this into what looks like a very rounded rectangle here, reconnecting it to the bottom of that letter U shape. Now I know that that was quite a few steps that we just added into our sketch here, so now I'm not going to add in anything new. I'm just going to lock in from this buck tooth to his chin. Everything else I'm going to leave nice and light, so only lock in the lines that we have added so far. Leave the front of his snout nice and light. We still have a couple of features to add there. But when I say locking in my lines or locking down my shapes, I just mean I'm going back. I'm adding a little bit more pressure on my pencil here. I'm really darkening up or bolding out my favorite lines, and I'm letting everything else fade into the background like I mentioned earlier. So if you do have any lines on your sketch that you're not really a fan of, you think they look a little funky, that's okay. Leave them light, let them fade away. Nobody's gonna know. But I want to talk a little bit more about this film, Ratatouille, for sure up there in my top 5 Pixar movies, absolutely. Now this film, it was actually directed by one of my personal favorite directors, an absolute genius in my opinion in the world of animation. His name is Brad Bird. Now Brad Bird, he not only directed this film for Pixar, but he directed and wrote another film about a family of superheroes. What film is that? The Incredibles, yeah. And he also wrote and directed another project, not a Disney film, but one of my personal favorite animated films called The Iron Giant. If you haven't seen it, highly, highly recommend it. Absolutely love that film. But have a box of tissues nearby. It is a tearjerker for sure. Let's go ahead and work on the front of his snout here. We need to add in his nose. You can kind of see it just a little bit on the model I have on my desk, but rats' noses actually have a slight downward tilt. They don't stick out perfectly straight. So we're going to add in what looks like this olive or grape shape right on the end of this orange slice, but it's going to look like it's slightly pointing down towards the bottom left corner. So I'm going to lock my wrist again, let my shoulder roll around. And I'm sketching in this oval that has a little bit of a tilt to it. It's not quite flat, it's not following that same line of the horizontal guideline. It's adding in this little bit of a diagonal here. And that'll also help us build up the top part of Remy's snout, because his snout is not perfectly flat like this. We need to add a little bit more volume to it. So once I have that oval in place, I can build from the top of that oval this diagonal line, connecting it back to the left side of my circle. And we can even add in this little divot that rats have right before their eyes connect back here on the circle. So I'm just going right to where the side of the circle is and adding in this little letter U curve. And then I'll go ahead and lock all of that into place. So any other part of his snout that you haven't locked in, you're good to lock that in right now. Now this film has tons of really fun facts about it, but one of my favorite things to talk about is the research trip that they took. Typically, when Disney and Pixar artists are working on a film, if they're basing it around a specific place or a specific culture, they will usually take what's called a research trip, where they travel to that place or places to basically figure out how to represent that culture or that place realistically. They want to pretty much relatively, goodness gracious, I sounded like a DJ, relatively represent the culture or place that they are trying to portray. So of course, they went to Paris, France. They did a ton of studying on cuisine, right? They went to a bunch of these really amazing restaurants. They took some cooking classes too. But this movie is not only about cooking, right? It is also about rats. So during the night, they were out doing fine dining, but during the day, they were walking around in the Paris sewers, trying to figure out what it would be like to be a rat in Paris. So kind of the best and worst research trip to go on, if you ask me. Kind of a 50-50 on whether it's great or terrible. I went in here, I even added in some little whiskers for Remy. You could just leave those out if you'd like. But let's start adding in the bridge of his, or next to the bridge of his nose, that ridge that will make his eyebrow. Now, rats don't typically have very expressive eyebrows, but being an animated character, Remy needs to express a ton of different emotions. So from where that letter U curve touches the side of my circle, I'm starting to bring up and over this slightly tilted parenthesis curve, and I'm slightly pulling it away from the very top of my circle. And once I have a little bit of height, I can actually bring it back down into the circle with this very flat rainbow. And I'm stopping about halfway down between the top of the circle and that horizontal guideline. So we have what almost looks like this half guitar pick shape, or kind of like a little like avocado pit almost. But we can use this shape to help us create the shape of his eye. We're pretty much going to mirror that same curve that we added in for the top part of his eyebrow, but I'm placing it a little bit closer to the left side of the circle. So I'm adding in another rainbow, pretty much parallel to the one that I added on top of his eyebrow, just kind of floating in space closer towards the left. And then from the bottom of that rainbow, I'm going to stretch this flat letter U curve down so it's touching that horizontal guideline. So we have what looks like this slightly kind of little letter C here. And then I can pretty much use the curve of the front of the circle to close that space in between those two lines. So we should have a little bit more of what looks like an almond shape for his eye. And we can go ahead and lock both of those things into place. But I don't think you want to leave Remy like that, though. If you leave him without a pupil, he's going to look like he's seen some things right now. He's going to look a little bit scary on our page. So you can give him a pupil, definitely. And you don't have to give him the basic oval for a pupil like I'm going to give him. You could totally add in a heart in his eye. Maybe he's one of your favorite characters. Maybe you want to add a star in there, he's excited about something. Or maybe you want to add something a little bit more complex. You could add in a piece of cheese as his pupil. Or maybe like a strawberry. That's one of my favorite scenes from the beginning where he's like combining the different foods and he sees all those swirls kind of forming around him in the background. I'm just going to choose to make it look like he's looking straight out in front of him with this nice tall oval for his pupil. But no matter what you choose, you want to make sure that the pupil is really the darkest part of your sketch. Eyes are where we draw connections to our characters. So no matter what you choose, make sure that you color in the pupil really nice and dark. With the eye pretty much in place though, we can go ahead and close off the back of his neck and we can add in one of his ears. We're only going to see one from the angle that we're looking at him from. I'm going to close off the backside of his head here by going to the top of the circle and extending down another big parenthesis curve, kind of following the curve of that candy cane that we added in the front of his neck. He's going to look like a little bit of like a funky sock puppet when you add this in. He's not exactly going to look like himself just yet. The ear is going to help him look a little bit more like himself. So from wherever you started, that parenthesis curve, I'm leaving a little bit of space between the eyebrow and this start of his ear. I'm going to add in this big diagonal line stretching off towards the right-hand side. And I'm going to use about the same measurement that I used when I was measuring out how long his snout was going to be. I'm going to measure the width of my circle, and that's about how wide I want to make this diagonal line for his ear. And his ear is going to look like almost this upside down taco shell shape. So I'm going to stretch across from side to side underneath that diagonal line, this nice big letter U curve, so it looks like more of that orange slice right now. But I want it to look a little bit more on the three-dimensional side. We're going to be seeing a tiny bit of a fold on the back side of his ear. So I'm just going to add in this little parenthesis curve here towards the back side of that taco shell shape. And that's going to give us a little bit more of that 3D effect. That's really when it's going to start to look a little bit more like it has both of those sides to it. And then I'll go ahead, lock that ear into place, as well as any other part of his neck that isn't covered up by his ear. You're good to go ahead and lock that into place as well. Now, like any good Pixar film, there are a couple of Easter eggs in this movie. There's plenty in every single Pixar film. But I like to talk about the character cameos that we get in this movie. There's actually a character cameo from Brad Bird's other Pixar film. There is a cameo from a character from The Incredibles. He is more of a side character. He's actually a villain. He's the villain that we meet at the very beginning of the first Incredibles film. And his theme is being a mime. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Bon Voyage. Yes, Bon Voyage. He is actually in the movie. When Linguini and Colette are on their roller skating date, he's actually seen in the background. He's doing a mime performance. So is that before or after he turned to a life of crime? Who's to say? There's one more cameo though. This one is actually from a Pixar film that came out after Ratatouille. It was in production at the time of the movie's release. And this character, Remy, at one point is skittering through the walls, and in one apartment he comes around a corner and a dog starts barking at him. And this dog, he is a little overweight golden retriever, and he likes to hang out with a guy who ties a bunch of balloons to the top of his house. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Doug. Yeah, you can see the outline of his collar when he's running around in the silhouette. So it is Doug. That was a little kind of Easter egg, kind of giving us a hint to what was next from Pixar. You could leave Remy like this, but what is a chef without his chef's hat? So I'm going to add in a little chef hat for our little chef here. From the top of his head and the top of his ear, I'm extending up these big diagonal lines. You can choose to make his little chef hat as big or as small as you would like. But once I have a little bit of distance, I'll go ahead and cap off the top by connecting them together with this flat rainbow curve. I can even add in one more flat rainbow a little bit closer to the top of his head for that little hat band here. And then chef's hats, they will typically have these folds in them. And I've heard a lot of different things of what they can represent. Someone has told me at one point that they represent how many years a chef has been in that particular kitchen. I've been told it represents how many cooking techniques they know. But apparently it is supposed to be the number of ways that a chef knows how to cook an egg, apparently is what those folds are supposed to represent. So apparently Remy just knows 3 different ways. So I'm just going to add in 3 of those little lines. But anything else you want to add from here is extra credit and up to you. Maybe you want to add the silhouette of a tinier chef inside his hat, right? Little chefception. Maybe how long before the little chef stopped? I like to add in a little bit of shading to his fur. He has that darker kind of grayish bluish tone, so I'm just taking the side of my pencil, using it more like a crayon, and I'm going to shade in all of his fur. I'm going to leave his nose and his eye the tone of my page, but everything else gets a nice little coat of shading since it is that darker gray fur. But the final mark that every artist absolutely needs on their sketch is a signature. So once you are all done, find a spot to sign your name, because you have just drawn your very own portrait of the one, the only, Remy from Ratatouille. All right, and with that, most important question for you all, did you have fun? Yeah. Fantastic. Really quickly before you go, I'd love to see how all your little chefs turned out. So, on the count of 3, whether you're done or not, flip your board around, show off your sketch. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's see, Remy. Yes, these are so cute. Really nice job on the nice big smiles. I love the little pupil. You guys changed it up. These are adorable. Oh my gosh, he's spooky. I like him. That's amazing. Fantastic. I love the extra credit with a little snack in front of him. These are adorable. Nice job up here in my middle rows too. You guys nailed these proportions. He looks so cute. Fantastic job here in the upper rows too. I love these. Nice job on all the extra credit. And in your sketchbook, so fabulous. Give yourselves a round of applause. You've passed the Animation Academy. Congratulations, everybody. Alrighty. Alrighty guys, those sketches are yours to keep and take home with you. Make sure you grab them off your board before you head on out. I gotta skedaddle, but thanks for coming to draw with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and class is dismissed. Bye guys!
Round of applause for Delaney! Alrighty friends, at this time, please go ahead and stand up, gather your belongings, and put those boards back against the benches with the pencils in the springs. That really helps us out as we clean and get ready for our next class, which will be happening in a little bit. If you'd like to join us for our next one, you do still have to exit out your now open exit doors, faculty you entered. But you can join the queue outside, and we will see you in a little bit.